I want to talk about something that a lot of vegans disagree on, something that maybe I have an unpopular opinion on, which is transitioning to a vegan diet and how you should do it. Whether you should go all or nothing and just go completely vegan overnight, or whether you should do more of a slower transition and maybe take out like one thing at a time, maybe take out a different thing per month, and make steps for yourself so that you're not too overwhelmed. I'll start by talking about what I did and what worked for me, and talk about some of the experiences that I've seen through other people that I know, and then I'll explain why I think transitioning slower is actually better, and some tips and methods of doing so. Oh my god. Alright, so I went vegan when I was a freshman in high school. I was 14. My experience becoming a vegan was a lot different than many other people's was, because my brother was vegan at the time and he was a lot older, so he was able to like kind of mentor me through it. And so I was privileged enough to have that kind of experience that a lot of people don't, especially if they want to go vegan when they're young and they don't know anyone who's vegan. It's very difficult to stay on track and to stay motivated when you're the only one. I decided to go vegetarian in the end of October of my freshman year of high school, and I had no plans of being vegan anytime soon, but I wasn't as opposed to it as I was prior to that. So I was vegetarian for a couple months after that. At first, I was just vegetarian, and I was not restricting myself from eating any type of dairy or eggs. And after probably a month, I started eating more and more vegan foods because my brother was cooking vegan foods. We had more vegan foods in the house since he was vegan. After probably about 2 months of being vegetarian, I started making it to where when I was at home, or when it was easy, I would eat pretty much vegan. But when I would go out to a friend's house, when I would go to a family party, when I would go to a restaurant, anything like that where there wasn't vegan options, I would just eat vegetarian. So that way I never felt like deprived or anything, and I could like slowly work my way into it. I don't know the exact date when I decided that I was gonna go full on vegan. It was sometime around New Year's, because I think I kind of told myself, kind of as a New Year's resolution, that I should just go all for it now and just go completely vegan. But all throughout this time, I was not concerned with hygiene products or makeup products or clothes or shoes or anything like that. It was only food. I think after the new year, I started to realize that many of my products that I was using were not vegan or were not or were tested on animals. So like very slowly I started getting into that stuff. Once I did figure that out, I never threw anything away just because it wasn't vegan or it was tested on animals. I just continued to use the things that I had until they were worn out, and decided that when I buy new products that they were going to be vegan and cruelty-free and whatnot. So like I said before, I've been vegan for like over 4 years now, and I started very young, and I'm still very young, and I've been very committed to it the whole time. And so it kind of upsets me when I see vegans on YouTube or on Instagram or something like that who are trying to convince people to go vegan overnight, or to not be vegetarian and to just go straight to vegan. And I think that's fine if you feel like you're ready for that. And I think that's fine if you find yourself bothered by being vegetarian, or bothered by, if you watch a documentary and you just feel so emotionally compelled that you need to go full on vegan right away as soon as possible. It disappoints me a lot when people kind of act like it's a bad idea to transition, or like people are being lazy, or they're not like committed if they're transitioning. I don't agree with that at all. I don't think it's a bad idea at all. I don't think anyone should be ashamed of transitioning. Me personally, I think it's the better way to do it, because the entire lifestyle of veganism is a lot. Like, it's a very big change if you were to go from completely not vegan to completely vegan, as in taking all animal products out of your diet, all animal products out of your clothes, out of your shoes, only buying vegan and cruelty-free cosmetics and hygiene products. That's a lot of things. Like, that's a lot of aspects of your life to change. And I think when people think they need to do all of that right away or quickly, that makes them very scared and overwhelmed. And that's some of the reason why a lot of people are too scared to try it or too scared to call themselves a vegan, because they're scared that once they mess up that they're going to be called out on it and they're going to be like attacked by other vegans. And I think it's really stupid. I think it's so important to make a welcoming community that supports everyone and forgives everyone for any slip-ups, because it's really not important. What's important is that you're in the right mindset and that you're trying as hard as you can and doing whatever is possible for you. Because everyone starts at a different time in their life. Everyone, we all live in different areas of the world and live in different families. We have different friend circles. We have different activities and different lifestyles, different jobs. And it's so much easier for some people than it is for other people. So the fact that some people would criticize other people's methods of transitioning, and shame them for being lazy or for being, not committed or not a real vegan or a real vegetarian or a real animal rights activist or anything like that is just ridiculous. And I think it's disrespectful because you don't know what they're going through. Anyways, so yeah, I very much went step by step and it worked perfectly for me. I felt comfortable with everything that I did, and I think that's a big reason why I stayed so long and stayed so committed. I only did things that I felt compelled to do. It was very much a personal decision to do everything that I did. But with that, if you're going to slowly transition, I think it's very important to kind of keep yourself motivated and keep yourself on track. I think a good way to do it is to be vegetarian first, take out one thing at a time, whether that's by the days or one thing a week or one thing a month. Something that worked well for me, I liked how I did when it was easy being vegan and when it wasn't easy being vegetarian. I think that helped me a lot. And so, yeah, I think it's very important to keep yourself motivated. Right away, I think you should follow vegan people on all your social media accounts, whatever you have. So subscribe to vegan people on YouTube, follow people who are vegan on your other social medias like Twitter, Instagram. You can also join vegan groups on Facebook. It kind of serves as a reminder when you go on your social medias, and helps to kind of inspire you. And that way also, especially if you're the only vegan that you know, that can kind of help you feel like you have some sort of support group that you can, ask questions or get ideas from or get advice from. Okay, so another thing, when people choose to go vegan just because it's a trend or because of weight loss or because of health or because of, aesthetic, you might stick with it, and you might be committed, but it's very important to get the ethical part of it into your mind, because whenever people do it just for those other reasons, they don't really have something that compels them as much to keep going. So you can build your ethical stance on this by reading books, watching documentaries, watching informational YouTube videos, reading articles, things like that. It'll help you to hopefully feel stronger about this issue and help to motivate you more. Okay, so I mentioned getting rid of things that aren't vegan earlier. So I personally didn't throw out all the things that I owned that were not vegan. I continued to wear them out until they were not usable anymore, and then I bought, vegan versions of them or whatever, or I didn't need them anymore, so I didn't. And I wouldn't advise anyone else to throw it out. I think that it's kind of wasteful and kind of, I think it's kind of pointless. With that said, I think that if it makes you uncomfortable to continue using things that aren't vegan, I think that it makes total sense for you to get rid of it. I just don't think you should throw it away. I think it would be a good idea to either donate it. If you can, I think you should try. whether, any family or friends that might use it. If you do continue to, for example, wear a leather jacket while you still own them, just be aware that some people might call you out on it. If someone knows that you're vegan and they see that you're, wearing leather or wearing fur boots, and just be prepared for that. Because, it's not everyone has money to go and buy, to just throw out the stuff that they already have and go buy more. So hopefully anyone who calls you out and you explain to them your situation, hopefully they understand. And if they don't understand, that's not your fault. So don't be bothered by that. But I think that trying to make all these changes all at once is extremely overwhelming, especially for young people. Oh, another thing is that if you can find someone to do this with you and to go through these steps with you, so much better. Or if you know someone who's vegan or vegetarian, to talk to them and ask them to kind of like keep up with you, because I think that being able to talk to someone about it and having someone hold you accountable can be very helpful and very motivating for a lot of people. And if you don't know anyone who's vegan, there's so many people online who can help you. So, in conclusion, from what I've experienced from myself and for everyone that I know who has gone vegan or gone vegetarian, the people who it worked out for the best took smaller steps and didn't go straight into it. And the people who it worked out for the worst did not do that, and they went straight into it. And I think that they were overwhelmed, and that's one of the biggest reasons why they didn't succeed as much. I just wanted to say that there is no shame in transitioning. There's nothing wrong with it. It does not mean you're lazy or uncommitted or, not a real vegan for transitioning. Gonna go back to eating my watermelon. See y'all later.